Welcome back, children. So let us continue with the summative assessment test numericals of units and measurements. So here we move with the first question. Statement 1. The symbols for units named after the scientists are written as small letters. No. Whenever you use the name of the scientist as a unit, you should write it as with a capital letter. For example, Newton means capital N, Joules means capital J, whereas watts means capital W. So, if it is symbolically, it is written as, you should always use it as capital letters. If it is, the name itself is completely used means, then you should write it as Newton, Joule, as well as watt. So, here the complete word along with the first letter should be small. Hence, the first statement is false. Unit of mass is written as kgs. No capital form. It is written as small kg only. Hence, it's clear that both statement 1 is false as well as statement 2 is also false. Hence, the correct option would be statement 1 is false as well as statement 2 is also false. Moving ahead, pick the correct representation. I told you earlier that no capital form should be used, no full stops in between the units and no plural form should be used. And this is the correct representation of unit kg, small letters. Next, unit in which there are more than one letter, punctuation mark should be used to separate them. For example, instead of Newton, if you would like to write kg meter per second square, then in between kg and meter, there should not be any punctuations mark. It should be written as it is. So, the statement 1 is absolutely false. No punctuation mark should be used in between the units. If a sentence ends with a unit or symbol, then full stop should be used. Of course, after any sentence, we will be using full stop, whether it is having units or not. So, statement 2 is true. Hence, statement 1 is false, whereas statement 2 is true. Hence, the correct option is third option. Next, match the following. So, here the physical quantity is given as temperature. So, we know that the temperature is measured either in degrees Celsius, Kelvins, Fahrenheit, Reaumur or Rankine scales. So, whenever you will be representing in Celsius scale, it is written as degree Celsius. Whereas in Kelvin, simply K you will be writing. Fahrenheit, degree F and so on. But here temperature degree Celsius though it is given, but for Kelvin it is written as degree K, which is absolutely false. So, for temperature degree Celsius is the correct option. And length is generally measured in meters, means it should be written in small letters but not in capital letters. So, for first option A, it is K, and for B, it should be M. For A, K and B is M. So, second answer is true. Next, from the following set, choose the incorrect representation. Kg for kilogram is wrong. Degree for Celsius is correct. Meters, no plural form. S for second is true. So, both 1 and 3 is false, whereas 2 and 4 is true. But in the question, they are asking us to find out the incorrect statement. So, among the 4, which one is incorrect? First and third. So, these are the odd options. Hence, answer is 1. Next, to measure the length of a curved line, which of the following materials are used? Suppose if you would like to measure the length of a curved line, you require 2 materials. One is thread. If you are given a thread, just keep the one end of the thread here and just try to measure the total length of the curved line. After measuring the proper reading, keep it near the scale and calculate the measured value. So, in order to measure a curved line, you require 2 things. One is the cotton thread as well as the meter scale. So, 2 things. One is cotton thread as well as the measuring scale. So, there is no requirement of any common balance or watch over here. So, which one is what are the things required? A and B. So, your answer would be first option. Next, in which of the following indirect measures of measurements are used? In order to measure the thickness of a wire, thickness wire means the copper wire, which if you observe that inside the electric current wire and all. So, small narrow copper wire you measure. You will observe. In order to measure the copper wire directly, you can't measure it either with a scale or a tape. So for this, we need to apply some indirect methods. So to measure the thickness of a copper wire, you require some indirect methods. Even to measure the thickness of a plate, thickness is again this very narrower. So directly you can't measure with a scale or a tape. Okay, because it is lesser than the millimeter. Hence, directly you cannot measure that. But measuring the length of the table directly with the help of a scale or table, you can measure the length of a table. So, these two requires the indirect method, whereas this one requires the direct method. Hence, which of the following indirect methods of measurement is used? Both A and B. Hence, your correct answer is first option. Next, meter scales have dash ends to avoid error due to dash. So, whenever you will be observing meter scale, at the edge if you observe, it will be little tapered. What is the reason behind taper? Means properly you can mark the reading. If thickness is there, means you can't say 1 millimeter this way or that way, some error may happen. So, that if it is taper means directly you can plot the point. Hence, it is tapered. Okay, meter scale have tapered ends to avoid the error due to its thickness. So, your answer is second option. Next, 24 5 paisa coins are piled up and the total height of pile is 6 centimeters. Let us see this. So, 5 paisa coins are taken like this. So, like this, some number of 5 paisa coins are taken, children, and they are piled. How many such coins are they have considered? This each are 5 paisa coin on, and how many are there? Altogether there are 24 5 paisa coins are there, and the total length was measured to be 6 centimeters. 24 coins having 6 centimeters. So, you are asked to find the thickness of each coin. So, 24 coins have 6 centimeters. Then each coin will be how much? Some x centimeters. So, in order to find out x, we have, so 24 coins, 6 means one coin will be how much it is? It is nothing but 6 by 24 centimeters. 6 by 24 is nothing but 1 by 4. Hence, each coin will be 1 by 24 means 0.25 centimeters. How much is that, children? 0.25 centimeters. Okay. So, but here nowhere you were given 0.25 centimeters. Here 2.5 is there, but in the millimeters is there. But children, you know that 1 centimeter is 10 millimeters. So, 0.25 centimeters is nothing but 0.25 into 10 millimeters. So, how much is the value? 2.5 millimeters. Hence, is your correct option. Okay. So, look at the units properly. A wire wound to a pencil had 20 closed turns. How many turns are there, children? 20 closed turns are there. If the thickness of the wire is 1.6 mm, thickness of the total wire is given as 1.6 mm. The total length of the part of the pencil would be. So, clearly it was mentioned that thickness of the total wire, each wire is 1.6 mm. And how many turns are there? 20 closed turns are there. You are asked to find the length. So, remember children, the total length would be equals to number of turns into thickness of each wire. So, each wire thickness, you know, in order to measure the total length or total thickness, you have to multiply with number of turns. How many number of turns were given, children? 20. Thickness of each wire would be how much? 1.6 mm. So, your total length would be 20 into 1.6 is something around 32 mm. But nowhere you find this 32 mm. Here centimeter is there, but 3.2 is not equal to 32. Hence, let us convert into centimeters. Earlier we said that 1 centimeter is 10 millimeters. So, 1 millimeter is 1 by 10 centimeters. So, 1 by 10 centimeter. So, 32 into 1 by 10 is nothing but 3.2 centimeter. Hence, your correct answer. Okay. So children, so let us wind up with here and we shall move to the SAT 2 in the next session. Thank you.